Hi friends, I am Sandeep Sharma. Welcome you on my YouTube channel Baker's Solution Official, Transforming Knowledge. Today our discussion topic is study of alpha amylase activity in wheat flour, factor that affect the alpha amylase activity and effect of alpha amylase activity on bakery process and products mainly for bread. As you know, enzymes are biological catalysts. They greatly accelerate the rates of reaction in natural plant and animal systems. If we talking about the use of enzymes in bakery products, in the past the use of enzymes in bread and flour has been strictly regulated. Until recently, the only two classes of permitted enzymes were one is alpha amylase and second is proteinase. Nowadays, their use of enzymes are deregulated and many more enzymes in use, like hemicellulose also. If we talking about alpha amylase, it is basically used in three forms, that is cereal, fungal and bacterial origin according to working of them at different heat profile. Because these all three in oven working with a different heat profile, that is we can say means start working and till next heat temperature they are working, that is different for each of these. Now we talking about cereal origin alpha amylase enzymes. Alpha amylase enzymes is present in the embryo or germ part of the sound wheat kernel. When germination begins, the embryo and layer surrounding the starchy endosperm produce the enzyme at an accelerating rate. A severely sprout damaged kernel contains many thousands of times the amount of enzyme present in kernel that are in the early stage of germination. Here we first discuss the principal working of alpha amylase, how it works on starch. The alpha amylase are a range of enzymes which catalyze the same basic reaction, namely the breaking of hydrated starch molecules, both amylose and amylopectin, unbranched and branched long chain maltose polymers. They convert into short chain and unbranched molecules known as dextrins. Mainly, it work with combination of beta amylase. In combination with beta amylase, an enzyme which attack the ends of amylose and amylopectin chain and breaking of individual maltose sugar molecules, and given a sufficient time and right condition, and they are capable of converting starch almost totally to maltose. That is the product which is used by yeast and yeast for food, and also there is other function, the amylase alpha amylase improve the baking profile of the bread mainly. Each time a starch chain is broken by alpha amylase, two sites are created at which the beta amylase can function. It is therefore the level of alpha amylase, which is the rate determining enzyme in the system, is very important. Here, this is the pictorial representation of starch breakdown into maltose by alpha and beta amylase enzymes. How beta and alpha amylase enzymes are attacking on non-reducing and reducing and converting the starch into maltose. If we talking about wheat flour, most wheat flour contain an adequate level of beta amylase, but usually only a low level of natural, that is cereal alpha amylase. And so it is become common practice to make adjustment to the amylase level in the wheat flours. If we talking about bulk fermented dough process, In the milling of wheat to flour for bulk fermented dough, it was usual for the millers to add a low level of fungal alpha amylase. This addition in the range of 5 to 15 farad unit. If we talking about straight dough process, in many production units using the straight dough process with high speed mixers, which particularly when using flour of low protein quality and also low in protein content, it has been found beneficial to incorporate into the dough conditioner high level of fungal alpha amylase. Often this addition are in the range of 100 to 150 FU, that is farad units. Now term to discuss about the factor that affect the alpha amylase activity. The effect of the addition of alpha amylase to dough is dependent on at least 4 factors. First is the level of addition, means the flour, how much the flour has the alpha amylase activity and how much we need to add or in the flour for modifications. The second is the dough temperature, because it is mainly working with dough temperature. The third is the heat stability profile of the particular type of alpha amylase. We recently talking about that the cereal, fungal and bacterial alpha amylase having different heat profiles to stability. And the last one is presence of damage start on quantitative basis. It was necessary to control the damage starch level to prevent excessive hydrolysis of starch, which leads to dough becoming progressively softer and stickier throughout the fermentation and subsequent processing. Now we are talking about the effect of amylase activity on process and product, mainly in bread making. The sprout damaged flour and having higher amylase activity hold less water when mixed and the dough absorb less water during baking. And we can say higher oven loss, that is too much important for bakers. Second is the high alpha amylase activity also affect the gas retention, dough handling and bread texture. Next is too much alpha amylase activity causes wet sticky dough that is hard to handle in a commercial bakery. Next is the loaf may have larger open holes and the crumb texture is gummy. The gummy bread is difficult to slice and it is built upon the slicer ballets, means paste on the slicer ballets. In spite of slicing, the bread is torn from inside. And the next is the loaves also often deformed, hard to package and unattractive to consumer. So friends, this is all about this topic. Our next video will be on how we measure the alpha amylase activity of flour, talking about standard range in the detail. Thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe my channel for upcoming videos. Also press bell icon for notification. Have a great time ahead to you all. Thanks.